Facebook Live, this is Andrea, and welcome to Declutter's Delight for Life. Tonight's decluttering allows you to turn over a new life in 3 ways. I know for a lot of you folks out there, a new life, can mean a lot of new things to you. And if you've been decluttering at all or been looking at doing it, it's a big deal. And I know for myself, decluttering was a big deal after 30 years when I did it, and it opened a whole new life to me, brought in a new relationship into my home, and brought in a whole lot of wonderful things. And for me, life itself is just a whole lot different. And one of the things I did is I did a rock called Believe. And one of the greatest things is, if we can, is that we can believe in ourselves. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we can do is believe. You never know what, if you can believe in yourselves, what that can do for you. And I think, one of the things that leads you into is definiteness of purpose is one of the first things that you need to be able to think about yourselves, about turning your life into something new. I know for myself, that was really important to have definiteness of purpose, because if I have definiteness of purpose, then I can really believe that, something great can make of my life. Life isn't always perfect, relationships ain't always perfect. But when you have some sort of definiteness of purpose and you have some sort of pathway that you want to go down, then you realize that you have direction in your life. And direction is so important, because sometimes if you don't have direction, you go wandering off on several different paths. If you're wandering down several different paths, you have a tendency to get lost. I know for myself, I got lost many times in my life into, bad relationships, bankruptcies. I got almost lost my home on many occasions, just a whole bunch of chaos. And when I had definiteness of purpose, I finally realized, part of my own purpose is to have love and joy in my life, positive energy. In fact, I was just saying a prayer to what I believe in just before I hear it, is to be around, positive people, people that will bring joy and love into my life. And that includes myself, that my thinking be made clear and in a much better and direct way, because my own thinking needs to be straight. And as a result, a lot greater things come into my life, and I know they can come into your life, because when I have directness of my own purpose and know where I was going into, and also realize too that when I have definiteness of a purpose, I'm much more organized in my thought processes, because when you know where you're going, it's kind of like a car. You got a steering wheel. That's what purpose is. It gives you a steering wheel on your car, and that's really good. And one thing I also find that when you turn over a new life, it clears up the cobwebs in your head. I know for me, I had what I called cloudy thinking. My thinking was, I could do my job as a corrections officer, but when I got off the work, my house was a mess. My thinking was a mess. The only thing I functioned at was my job. Everything else I did not function well. And, I did a lot of right things, and I made a lot of good choices. But, you know, my life wasn't what I wanted it to be. It was a life of eating and a life of, buying stuff. But the one thing I didn't have was fulfillment in my life. And it was just sometimes just working double shifts. It was just, it was just being. And I didn't have a lot of meaning in it. And um, how can I say it? I just had cobwebs in my head, because all I knew was just a couple things, and that's all there was. But then when I cleared the cobwebs in my head, I realized there was so much more out there to life. I know somebody around my neighborhood, all his life is made up as walking his dog and his mowing his yard. and that is life is, talking to a couple people. I like to broaden my horizons and talk to people. I talk to people from all over the world in a virtual world, and that's from my home. And I like to get out and do as much as I can and enjoy life, and that includes self-care days or being around people. To me, that's so important because being part of people is so important for us, because a lot of us who have been, locked away because of having been hoarders or chronic disorganizers or clutterers, have, encaged ourselves in a whole bunch of stuff, not just stuff physically, but mentally and spiritually. And as a result, we have our thinking that is real cluttery and real foggy, and we have cobwebs. And what it takes to clear those cobwebs is a lot of sweeping, and that sweeping includes, clearing away lots of stuff, includes clearing away a lot of negative thinking, includes clearing away a lot of, old, thinking patterns of thinking that we are not good enough, thinking that we're not worth anything. You know what? You're worth a lot. I'm worth a lot. You're worth a lot spiritually. You're worth a lot physically. You're worth a lot mentally. You just have to decide it on whether or not you are. And you got to make that choice too. I have to make that choice every day and realize I have to do certain things each and every day to make that choice. Sometimes even people I know still don't even realize that. But you know what? It does not matter. What matters is what you think and what you have in your heart. That's what really matters when you think about it. And when you think about it, and like to write about it and journal about it, because that gets my thoughts down on paper, or I do I am statements that help me to reinforce a lot of positive things about myself, or turn it over list or even appreciation lists are great things, because those help clear up my thinking and are great ways of doing it. And then I like you to think about this one. When you think of, when you clear up your physical space, you open yourselves to the world of abundance. Not just abundance of realizing you don't realize need as much stuff, but you open your abundance to helping others, because if you give up some of your stuff to help others, you realize in giving up some of your stuff that others who don't have as much as you do can be helped by what you have. Because I know a lot of the stuff, including even jewelry, I did not need as a result of a issue I had with my mother. That was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't need and a whole bunch of bad memories associated with it. I just gave it to a local group that I'd been giving all my stuff to, and I realized all that money they would make from it would help a lot of people here locally. And you know what? I was more than happy to let go of all of it. And it felt so good to get rid of all of it, because it let go of a lot of bad shit, excuse my language, but it got let go of a whole bunch. And when you can let go of all that, negative energy, and even stuff that's related to physical space, or even physical stuff, that opens yourself to abundance. And when you help others, that opens abundance in your life, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Because when others see that you're giving, they give to you in many ways, and not always money, but and in relationships and just a whole bunch of things, because people like people seeing other helping other people. I like to try to come to you every night with Facebook Live, because I find it very precious coming to you each and every night with some sort of message that I hope that is uplifting and gives you hope, peace and tranquility and kindness, love and compassion is what I hope to give to you, because I know that abundance and to believe is so important. Believe. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you can have abundance. Believe that you're worth it. Believe you are a person. Just believe, and believe that you're good enough. I don't like to say good enough. Believe that you're great enough. And with that, I wish you a great Declutter's Delight for life, and have a great night, and blessings to you all.